Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Prof. Dr. Insinyur Ilhasa Ilah MS, as a Rector of Binawan University, the Honorable Mrs. Dr. Nia Srimiati SPZ MSI, as a Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences and Technology, the Honorable Mrs. Isti Istianah AMD, GZM SGZ MKM, as a Chairman of Nutrition Department, the Honorable Mrs. Gusti Dewi SKM MARS, as a speaker that would be giving our material today. The Honorable all lecturers of the Faculty of Health Sciences and Technology, and my proud participants who have been present at today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Dimas Wahyu Wimantoro, as a student of the Nutrition Study Program at Binawan University. It's a precious chance for me to be your Master of Ceremony on this very special occasion. First of all, let us pray and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing and mercy, we can come together without any obstacle here with healthy conditions in the events of Health Scientific Update. We would like to say thank you and welcome to the participants for attending today's event. On this nice occasion, let me deliver the structure of the event today as follows. The first one is opening, second one is introducing the speaker, third one is presentation of material by the speaker, the fourth is the question and answer session, the fifth one is photo session, and the last one is closing. Before that, let's open this event by saying Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the main point of Health Scientific Update, which will be delivered by Mrs. Gusti Kumala Dewi, SKM MARS. But before that, I would like to read the curriculum vitae of Mrs. Dewi. Mrs. Dewi is a lecturer of the Nutrition Department at Binawan University. She received Kesehatan Masyarakat Bachelor Degree in the Faculty of Public Health from University of Indonesia. And also, she received Kajian Administrasi Rumah Sakit Master Degree in the Faculty of Public Health from University of Indonesia. Now, she is going to share the material about the relationship between knowledge, sodium intake, and nutrition status with the incident of hypertension in elderly polyclinic of the CIRACAS Sub-District Health Center. All right, to Mrs. Dewi, did you connect with us?
Yes. Is my voice heard?
Yes, it's clear, Miss.
Thank you.
All right, to Mrs. Dewi, time and place are yours.
Thank you, Dimas. Okay, good afternoon all. Today I will present my research article entitled Predisposition Factor with Anemia in trimesters in the second trimester and third trimester pregnant woman at Puskesmas District Makassar. Wait. Okay. Can see it?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. The title of my research is Predisposition Factor with Anemia in trimesters in the second and third trimester pregnant woman at Puskesmas District Makassar. Well, the background of my research is anemia is condition cell blood working red as carrier oxygen and that no sufficient for fulfill its psychological body. And based on WHO data for 2019 figures prevalence of anemia in mother pregnant still tall by 40.1%. And mother pregnant experience change circulation blood so that susceptible cause internal anemia pregnancy. And according to the research data, Health Basic or Riskus Das 2018, percentage anemia in mother pregnant in Indonesia for free national, namely 21.7%. Okay, we can see the figure of diagrams that a number of related factor with anemia in mother pregnant second and third trimester among others. Characteristic subjects study like age, education, and profession mother. Influence education to behavior health mother pregnant. Adequate education possible, a mother more easy in accept information new especially about pregnancy. And this is the identification of problems. Service data health Jakarta province in DKI Jakarta province in 2018 show that result inspection mother pregnant in more increased age, the more increase. Preliminary survey researchers obtain suffering from anemia as much as to 22%. And however, not yet is known related factor with characteristic and level obedience talking additional tablet load at the health center sub-district Makassar East, Jakarta. And the hypothesis of this research are the first characteristic like age, education, occupation are significantly associated by anemia in pregnant women. Knowledge has a significant relationship with anemia in pregnant women. And then parity has a significant relationship with anemia in pregnant women. Nutritional status or LILA is significantly related to anemia in pregnant women at the Makassar District Health Center, East Jakarta. Fifth, compliance with blood supplement consumption tablet is significantly associated by anemia in pregnancy. And this is theoretical framework. We have three factors. The first factor who suspect the anemia is first is predisposing factor, enabling factor, and reinforcing factor. Predisposing factors are mother age, like pregnancy distance, education, until parity. And enabling factor is are health service and information access. And last factor is reinforcing factor from Permenkes policy of anemia until education with the media that who will the suspect who will relate it to anemia to pregnancy mother is behavior like consumption of blood supplement tablet, nutritional intake, antenatal care visit, and the outcome is anemia in pregnant woman. And this is conceptual framework are characteristic of pregnant woman like age, education, and work. And the second variable, mother knowledge about anemia, parity, nutritional status or LILA, And the last is compliance with consumption of FK tablet, who related to incident of anemia in pregnant women, second and third trimester. So after this is research method. This research is descriptive study with a cross-sectional design, which is collecting data at the same time to determine the independent and dependent variables studied, held at the Makassar District Health Center, Jakarta in February to May 2022. The population and research sample. The population was anemic pregnant women at the Makassar District Health Center, East Jakarta, with a total of 202 pregnant women who were used as research subject. Okay. The sample technique is non-random sampling. Research sample have two inclusion and exclusion criteria. That inclusion criteria are pregnant mother, pregnant women are willing to be research subjects, cooperative expectant mothers, pregnant women around the working area of the Makassar Health District. And the last exclusion criteria are first, pregnant women have certain disease like hemophilia, thrombophilia, thrombocytopenia, thalassemia before or during pregnancy. And the last, pregnant women are not willing to be research objective. And research instrument in the form research instruments in the form of interviews and questionnaires consisted of the characteristics of the research subject, like age, initial of pregnant woman names, education, occupation, and knowledge about anemia, parity, nutritional status or LILA, and adherence to taking iron tablet or FA. And next, I will explain about analysis univariate. The first table or table 1 show that part B subject study on group anemic with category experience anemia as many as 63 people or 94%, and age with category low as much 83.6%, education with category low as many as 91.6%, work with category no work as much is 91.6%, knowledge with category low as many as 95.5%, parity with category more than 3 children as many as 91%, nutritional status with category more than 23.5 centimeter as many as 35 people or 52.2%, and consumption of TTD or FA with category no obey as many as 57% or 85.1%. And the analysis of bivariate, result analysis bivariate on table 2 best characteristic with characteristic age with category low age 20 to 35 years old as many as 60.7% suffer from anemia, whereas category tall age less 20 and more than 35 years as many as 3 people or 27.3% suffer from anemia. It is known that the p-value is 0.041 as is related age mother against maternal anemia pregnant. So this relate. And then based on characteristic education, final mothers show that mother with category educate low as many as 35 people or 57.4% are at risk of anemia. Mother pregnant with category educate tall as many as 2 people or 33.3% suffered from anemia. That the p-value is 0.258 is not related education. That's mean it's not related education against maternal anemia pregnant. And next, based on characteristic profession, mothers show that mother with category no work or jobless as many as 57 people or 93.5% are at risk of anemia, whereas mother with category work as many as 6 people or 100% suffer from anemia. That the p-value or 0.518, that mean the variable is not related profession again maternal anemia pregnant. Next, based on knowledge, mothers show that mother with category knowledgeable below as many as 61 people or 95.3% are at risk of anemia. Mother with category knowledgeable tall as many as 2 people or 66.7% are at risk anemia. That and the p-value 0.041, and that's mean is related the variable related to maternal anemia pregnant. And based on parity or history, mother give birth to show that mother with category parity more than 3 children as many as 57 people or 93.4% suffered from anemia, whereas mother with category parity less 3 children as many as 6 people or 100% suffer from anemia. And the p-value is 0.518, and that's mean the variable of parity is not related with maternal anemia pregnant. And based on nutritional status or LILA, shows mother with category of nutrition status less 23.5 centimeter as many as 32 people or 100% suffer from anemia, whereas mother with category of nutrition status more than 23.5 centimeter as many as 31 people or 88.6% suffer from anemia, and the p-value is 0.049, and that's mean the variable is related to nutritional status or LILA of the mother against maternal anemia pregnant. And next is based on obedience, consumption of additional tablet fluid show that mother pregnant who is not obey as many as 56 people or 98.2% suffered from anemia, whereas mother submissive pregnant as many as 7 people suffer from anemia. The p-value is 0.001. That means related to maternal anemia pregnant. Okay, next is conclusion conclusion and suggestion. The conclusion from this research is are characteristics: age, knowledge, nutritional status, and obedience. Consumption of supplementary tablet will take effects to incident maternal anemia pregnancy. Meanwhile, education, employment, and parity now have connection with incidence of maternal anemia pregnant. And the suggestion is study this majority in consuming tablet growth no obedient who has given health center preferably part public health center provide advice as well input to mothers pregnant about high risk of anemia in the second and third trimester and impact the negative for fetus. Okay, this is my presentation today. If you guys have any question, please. And I will return to the moderator, Dimas. Thank you, Dimas.
Okay, thanks to Mrs. Gusti Kumala Dewi for the knowledge which has been given to us. May it be useful for us. All right. The conclusion about the material are based on the research on the maternal anemia. We got the characteristic of age, knowledge, nutritional status, and obedience consumption of supplementary tablets, blood intake. Its effect to incident maternal anemia while pregnant. Meanwhile, education, employment, and parity do not have connection with incidence of maternal anemia pregnant. Reminder for the participants can fill attendance link in the chat box at the end of the event. All right, the next one is a question and answer session. Okay, here is a question from the panelist one. She is Mrs. Istianah. Or Miss Istianah, did you connect with us?
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Clear?
Okay. You can start asking to our speaker.
Okay. Thank you, Dimas. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity. And I want to ask one question, only one question from your research, Miss Gusti Kumala Dewi. Question is, what education can be provided by looking at the research data? Thank you.
Okay. May I ask the answer?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Mrs. Istianah, for the question. To Mrs. Dewi, it's time to answer the question.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Istianah, for the question, and I'll try to answer your question. So what education can be provided by looking at the research data? So maybe the intervention that can be used in addition to like a workshop, or in Indonesia is penyuluhan, then counseling, then beside that the intervention can be used is picking up the ball, or in Indonesia is jemput bola, by visiting pregnant women at their homes and providing education. Maybe it's a little same like counseling, but the counseling do in their home. Then and then the next is the intervention can be used is ANC examination and iron tablet. I think that's my answer. Is that satisfied, Miss Isti? Satisfied to you?
Okay, thank you, Miss Gusti.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Isti.
Okay, thank you,
Dimas.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Dewi, to the great answer. Okay, the next question from panelist 2. She is Dewi Miranti. Please, for the panelists, turn on the camera and microphone. Did you connect with us, Anis?
Yes.
Okay, and then you can start asking to our speaker.
Let me ask the question. I have two questions. The first question is, why are subjects of this study pregnant women in the second and third trimesters? Because if we look at it theoretically, the first trimester also has a risk of suffering from anemia.
Okay, Mrs. Gusti. Thank you, Anis, for question. Okay, to Mrs. Dewi, it's time to answer the question. Please answer question number one first.
Okay, thank you, Dimas. Thank you, Anissa, for the question. Your question is why the subject is second and third trimester. Yes. Before I do my research, I am looking for data, the anemia of pregnant woman. So because the data that I obtained in the initial study, most of the pregnant women in Puskesmas Makassar who suffer from anemia are those in the second and third trimester. So second and third trimester is most than first trimester. Thank you. Is it clear?
Okay, Anis.
Maybe Anis, Miss Anis, is it clear?
Yes, clear. Thank you for the answer. And the next question is, in this study, one of the related bivariate variables is mother's knowledge about anemia. So what method is right to increase mother's knowledge?
Thank you. Maybe a little same with the answer, Miss, that I explained to the Miss Isti before, that the method can be used as a workshop, or in Indonesia is penyuluhan and counseling for a pregnant woman with, of course, with media can be attract them to make their interest and attention of a pregnant woman. Is that clear? Any question?
Yes, clear. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you, Anissa.
Okay, thank you, Anis and Mrs. Dewi, for the great answer. All right, this is the end of the question and answer session from two panelists. Thank you to the audience that had participated actively. Before we go to the end of this event, the participant can fill the attendance link in the chat box. All right, last but not least, let's take a photo together. For all the participants here, please turn on the camera. Are you ready, everybody? Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dimas. Thank you, Mrs. T and Miss Anis. Thank you for all today. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, we got to the last session in this event, that is closing. Let's close this event by saying Hamdallah, Alhamdulillah. It was an honor to guide today's event. I hope this event will bring us new information and knowledge. I would like to say thanks to the speaker, the panelists, and all participants for attending and contributing to this event. Stay safe and have a great day. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gimana sih?
And